I'm not depending on punch power, you know. You know, it takes a lot more than that to be a great fighter. A lot more than that to be a great fighter. So there's various ways I'll win. But I got the fighting spirit, and that's how I'll go in there and break him down with my spirit.
After this.
But he can't though. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not even equipped to fight this dude. He's not. It's going to have to be a bunch of stuff in there. Joshua will punish this man.
It was impossible for somebody like Anthony Joshua, who is so big and so strong, to even think he's going to take it easy. Because even if he tries to take it easy, he's so powerful, so strong that even those punches that are being easy are still going to hurt.
Anthony Joshua has issued a stern warning to Jake Paul during the press conference, calling him delusional for believing he can win. He reportedly added that he accepted this fight primarily for financial reasons, treating it strictly as a business move. Joshua made it clear that once inside the ring, he remains the far superior fighter and intends to prove the gap in skill and experience.
Yeah, I deliver what I supposed to deliver years ago. I deliver what they ran from. I deliver what he asked for $50 million for. I'm gonna give him a $50 million knockout.
I honestly listen to what people say sometimes. They're avoided, this person's running. I honestly think some people are deluded. Really, I do think that they've got some sort of a long-term concussion, because no one's running. In terms of 50 million, I'm a businessman. If there was 50 million on the table.
Chris Algerie explains that this fight gives Anthony Joshua an ideal chance to return to the ring. After a period of inactivity following his most recent loss, Joshua can use this matchup as a stepping stone to rebuild confidence and regain his competitive rhythm. The fight allows him to secure a significant payday while keeping the overall risk relatively low, almost resembling a controlled sparring session. Algerie highlights that Joshua benefits mentally, physically, and financially, making the matchup a strategic choice for his comeback.
What are we talking here? Like, it's going to be an exhibition? No, it's a fight. You're a heavyweight. You're calling out heavyweights. You're calling out a heavyweight. You're calling out Anthony Joshua, former world champion. You're calling him out on short notice. It's a fight. You're going to wear 10-ounce gloves and you're going to fight 10 rounds, and that's what it is. I don't understand any idea of anything else. Oh, it's going to be twos? Is it going to be 15-ounce gloves? What the hell are we doing? This is boxing. You want to fight a real guy? Fighting a real guy, which I am very respectful, and I respect the hell out of Jake Paul if he does step in the ring with Anthony Joshua, no matter what happens. Kid's got balls of steel, and I applaud you.
Well, the reason I say we don't know yet because Jake Paul has fought in his last fight with Gervonta Davis was going to be an exhibition. They had to do that because of the weight difference. This is still a weight difference here. I mean, Anthony
No, there's not. No, it's not. It's heavyweight. It's the same weight class.
Well, what do you consider Jake Paul? Cruiserweight or heavyweight?
Heavyweight. How much did he weigh his last fight?
He's fought at cruiserweight. He's also fought at heavyweight. Again, Tyson was at heavyweight.
What was his last fight? He's a cruiser. He's a heavyweight.
What was
he
his
was
last
two.
fight?
It was
His last fight was at cruiser against Chavez. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
the reason
Oh,
Gervonta Davis
no.
fight.
He fought Chavez after Tyson?
Yeah.
Tyson was that long ago. Wow.
That was a year ago. This week, I was looking at my Instagram memories. I was in Dallas, Texas, getting ready for me pooping my pants on Netflix. So a year ago. Yeah, exhibition. These are questions that are asked. These are questions that are attacked.
Eddie Hearn says that Anthony Joshua is definitely interested in fighting Jake Paul, but the camp must proceed carefully due to Paul's unpredictable behavior. He notes that Jake has a history of finalizing opponents and then canceling or delaying fights at the last minute, making planning and preparation difficult because of this. Joshua's team remains prepared for sudden changes while continuing to train. Hearn emphasizes that if Paul is genuinely committed, the fight could deliver one of the biggest paydays of Joshua's career. However, he stresses the importance of balancing excitement with caution, ensuring Joshua capitalizes on the opportunity while avoiding unnecessary setbacks. Hearn's remarks underline the need for readiness and patience as they navigate Paul's unpredictable nature.
To come to a surprise for many. How close are we to making that fight, Eddie?
Not that close. I mean, there are conversations. There's a lot of hurdles to overcome. But if he's serious about the fight, and if it can get made, there's a very good chance we'll do it.
Is it on Netflix, and what did DAZN have to say of the fact that it might?
One of the hurdles to overcome. But we were going to have an 8-round run out in December, just so happens it might be against Jake Paul.
Have you spoke to Nikita? I know you're not friends with him. What are the conversations you've had?
That's who we're talking about, you know. And if they're serious and if it's real, there's a good chance. But listen, we could wake up tomorrow and he's announced another opponent and he just used AJ's name for clout. Listen, I have to respect him if he takes the fight, but who knows?
What do you think Dana White will make of this fight?
I mean, he did Mayweather against McGregor. He doesn't like Jake Paul. I really couldn't care less what he thinks about the fight. AJ's going to make close to or around a career high payday.
Paulie Malignaggi stresses that Anthony Joshua will treat the fight with complete seriousness, even if it is officially billed as an exhibition. He notes that Joshua has never underestimated an opponent throughout his career, and stepping into the ring means bringing full focus, power, and technical discipline. Malignaggi points out that Joshua's timing, intelligence, and ability to exploit openings make him extremely dangerous. Ryan Garcia agrees, adding that even if Joshua moderates his intensity, his natural strength and precision still pose a serious threat. Together, the analysts highlight that Jake Paul is facing real danger, despite the entertainment-driven framing of the event. Joshua's experience against elite heavyweights allows him to control pace, distance, and momentum. They agree Paul must show strategy and resilience, as any lapse could have serious consequences.
Yes, that's the end of the day.
Yeah, Fight for 84, big boxing movie that's hitting Netflix soon about the Olympic 84 team starring Jamie Foxx and Chris Algieri.
Starring anything, but whatever. Yeah, no, I got a credit. I'm in it. I got some lines. So
It's amazing. That is so cool. I mean, this doesn't get any cooler. You're now in the movie, which is absolutely absurd.
yeah,
What a day.
hopefully,
What a life.
hopefully, maybe there'll be more of this. Who knows? Who knows?
I think it's just the beginning. I think this podcast is numbered. Our days are numbered.
No way.
Let's go in Hollywood.
I'm never letting this go, Dan. This is I'm a ride or die.
I hope you get so big and become such a big actor that you are like delaying production because you have to film our podcast in your trailer.
This is in his trailer. Wait, he's got to finish his podcast with Dan.
They're like, who's Dan? Johnny Drama style.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
All on the set,
Total
5
diva.
pounds.
Total diva in every way possible.
Yes. Like we said, this episode is brought to you by PPV.com. December 6th, we're going to see Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach. And guess what? We're going to talk to Lamont Roach on this episode. I caught up with Lamont and to get his thoughts on the fight with Pitbull, to get his thoughts on Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, which we're going to get to in a second. To get his thoughts on 140, especially fighting at 135. That's coming up in just a little bit with Lamont Roach. Don't forget to order that fight with us at ppv.com and all the good stuff that comes along with that. That's December 6th. Lamont Roach is an awesome interview. Great guy.
Awesome guy. Forget the interview. He's just a good dude. I told you to tell him what's up. You probably
Oh,
did.
he said, what's up? He goes, where is he? I said, he's on a movie set. He goes, oh, yeah. He's got those movie star looks.
See, that's what I get. But yeah, no, he's a good dude. We see him. He trains down in Florida now. He's over at the Pro Box TV training facility. So we get to see him down there training. He's whipping on all the guys over there. But good dude. Good. His dad's awesome. His brother Jordan's great. He's another one to look out for. I think he's a flyweight. I think he's a flyweight coming up, or bantamweight. But yeah, great family, good boxing family, great boxing heritage.
Yeah, and can't wait for that mega card. Big card December 6th, and he's the headliner. So we're going to get to him in a second. Big news broke. Shocking news. According to Ring Magazine, Anthony Joshua is going to step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul. We don't know yet if it's an exhibition. We don't know yet the rules set. We don't know the date. These are preliminary talks that are ongoing. Yes, I work for MVP.
Dave Allen rejects the idea that Anthony Joshua should avoid fighting Jake Paul simply because the matchup is seen as unconventional or entertainment-focused. He argues that Joshua remains in peak physical condition, unlike retired fighters who may lack speed or power. Joshua still has every tool necessary to dominate. Allen stresses that fans often underestimate fights like these, treating them as spectacles, when in reality, Joshua's athleticism, power, and skill make him a serious threat. He warns that casual observers misjudge the risks Jake Paul faces. The matchup demands respect, discipline, and acknowledgement of Joshua's elite abilities, regardless of the surrounding hype.
It probably shouldn't be licensed, but Florida are very kind of easy commission to get. Yeah, it'd be called an exhibition.
What will be an exhibition?
It probably would be called an exhibition.
What's the point?
For me, as long as that fight you mentioned just now, Spencer, as long as that roadmap is there and it's signed that he fights an interim guy as a warm-up afterwards and fights Tyson Fury next year and Fury's on board, I'm great with it. Otherwise, I do think his legacy's damaged if his last fight is with Jake Paul.
An exhibition is a waste of time. They're for retired fighters. For retired fighters, it's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, listen, the guy's still in his athletic prime. I personally don't see the reason why they can't just do the Tyson Fury fight. Why do we need interims?
Well, we all want that.
Yeah, but why do we need interims? Why do we need warm-ups? We're talking about two experienced guys who've been the best, as you just said, of the last 10, 20 years. Let's get a fight on.
It's as ridiculous as Gervonta Davis going in with him, basically, isn't it, with Jake Paul?
Right, those different mindsets, and what, again, listening to Eddie today and what he was saying, the damage that Anthony Joshua suffered mentally, not physically, because physically he's still all there, but mentally against Daniel Dubois, he needs to go through that process again. And they said, that's just a whole in your hands wrapped up doing it, whether it's Jake Paul, whether it's a top 100 fighter, you go, that's the way Anthony Joshua ticks. He needs that before going into, all roads lead to Fury, right? We all know that.
Analysts note that Jake Paul is stepping into a fight with someone much closer to his level in terms of active competition, unlike the older or retired fighters he's previously faced. While this matchup brings the challenge fans have been waiting for, it also increases the physical risks for Paul. Commentators emphasize that health and safety remain major concerns because Joshua's power, skill, and experience far surpass anything Paul has encountered. The fight may be competitive in theory, but the potential physical consequences make it extremely dangerous for Paul.
Bigger than the Mike Tyson fight. It's hard to say really. Tyson was a big name, but it's going to do numbers regardless because Joshua is a big name and then people are going to be tuning in to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Right now, Eddie Hearn talks about Jake Paul taking this Joshua fight.
I mean, my estimations of Jake Paul would go through the roof if he signs fighting to Joshua, because I just can't believe in my mind he would do something like that. I mean, Gervonta was a smart one because of his size. Like, you know, I think actually he would have had a lot of success with Jake Paul, but size is a problem. But this would be, you know, like if Jake Paul was to take the fight with AJ, you'd really have to maybe carry his balls in a wheelbarrow on the ring walk, you know, because AJ wouldn't mess around, you know. So it would be huge, but nothing to tell you at the pros. Few conversations though.
Damn right, if Jake Paul takes this fight, he's got some major balls on him. And I know people hate influencer boxing, but come on, he's not fighting an old, retired, half-prime MMA fighter. No, he's fighting a legit boxer who's massive, 6'5", 6'6", jacked, 240, 250 pounds, shredded, power puncher. Do we need to remind ourselves of what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou? Francis Ngannou was coming off a pretty good performance over Tyson Fury. He didn't get the win in that fight, but you could argue that he did actually win that fight. And Ngannou, throughout his entire MMA career, in 4-ounce gloves, very, very rarely got hit. He could take a punch. He's got a big, fat African head. Big, thick neck, traps, back. He just can't really be hit. And look what Joshua did to Ngannou. Out cold. So what do you think Joshua is going to do to Jake Paul? Jake Paul better start loading up on that Trenbolone. He needs to start eating Anavar.